Hello again, I am Blunty. Ahoy, hunters, and especially ahoy hoy to new or potentially new hunters. You're presumably here because the title of this video promises to answer a question you're asking as you gear up to get into Monster Hunter for the first time. Or perhaps you're just a regular viewer who likes to listen to me. Hello, thanks for that. Either way, if I am correct, as per my big brain efforts to tease out the math of it all in yesterday's video, you have, as we stand, approximately 5 months before Monster Hunter Wilds lands. You're sitting there thinking about swooping into one of the existing Monster Hunter games to get a grounding in the series so you can tear into Wilds with your teeth cut and your sea legs on. But if you are still wondering which of the recent Monster Hunter games to pick, to prepare for Wilds, I've already got a video drilling right down on that. So if your question is if Monster Hunter World or Monster Hunter Rise is the better starting point for heading into Wilds with, I'll link that in the down below. The short version though, if you're not interested in the why of it all, is World. And what is more, you'll find it on sale right now for a historically low price of up to 67% off. And here is the meat of what I wanted to communicate to you in this video. There are things, important things, that you really should know just to get you the best start and also to protect your sanity a little. We'll get into that sanity thing a little bit more, but yeah, the game does it has some interesting choices when it comes to the UX stuff. We'll get to that though. First, let me tell you about some things you really want to know before you start playing the game, or as you start playing the game, really. You'll get a little intro cinematic, no worries. Then you'll be introduced to the character creator. Spend your time here. By the time you get to the end of the list of things you can do, you'll select your default armor. Now, the game, by default, these days, will put you in the Guardian Alpha armor, and it will tell you that this armor is recommended for all hunters, as it's loaded with parameters and skills that will let you go toe-to-toe with even the toughest monsters, low and high rank. Equip the Guardian Alpha armor to give you the starting edge you need for hunting in the new world. If you are a new player, do not use this armor. It is OP armor that was introduced when Iceborne was released to let anyone who was, say, starting a new save or switching platforms from PlayStation to PC, for example, to join their friends over there. It is designed as OP armor to let you rush through the base game to get to the new DLC stuff of Iceborne. It trivializes a lot of the game. It means you don't get to learn certain aspects of the game, for example, how to hunt properly, because you're just almost invincible in this stuff for quite a big chunk of the game. And you don't learn about armor sets, you don't learn about crafting, you don't learn about slotting in. It's just, this thing cheats you out of learning a lot of the game, and it won't be as fun because it'll just be face rolling stuff. You won't learn how to play the game properly in its best form. So do not use this armor. The same is true of the Guardian weapons you will have access to at the start of the game. Do not use those either. Exact same reasons. They are designed to be overpowered to help people rush through the base game if they're starting new save but they've played before. Again, you will miss out on a lot of stuff and a lot of learning experiences and a lot of fun, frankly, by skipping that step. So even though they're obviously more powerful, they've got the big numbers on them when you go look at them, don't use the Guardian stuff. Please trust me on this. Now, when it comes to your choice between leather and chainmail at the start of the game, it honestly doesn't matter that much. There are some very minor differences between them. I think the chainmail has slightly higher defense. The leather is good against fire attacks, chainmail against water, if I remember correctly. It doesn't really matter. Pick the one you like the look of the best. Frankly, you won't be in this armor very long anyway. You're just going to wear it for the first couple of hunts, and then you'll start crafting your own armor anyway. The functional differences between them aren't big enough for a new player to make any practical difference in how you onboard with the game. Speaking personally, I quite like the leather armor. Now, as good as this game is, and it is tremendously good, one of its weaker points is in the UI UX design and its sort of onboarding system. There is some stuff you need to know that the game doesn't necessarily point you towards very clearly. So here is a couple of things I want you to know as you get started. It will make you feel more comfortable with the game. It will smooth things out a bit, and things I wish I knew when I started, that kind of thing. I had to learn the hard way. So first things first is items. Now, up the top there, you've got your manage items. These are the items you carry with you in your pouch as you go out on hunts. There are 2 separate boxes. One's for ammo. You only need to worry about that if you're using a ranged weapon, one of the bow guns or the bow. But yeah, the top part here is the stuff you take with you. And at the start of every hunt, you want to make sure you top this up with your personal selection of items. What I've got here is potions and cures and bits and pieces that are useful. You'll learn what is useful to you as you go. But in general, you want some potions. Traps are good to take with you. You'll be introduced to those throughout the game. Gunpowder if you're a gunner again, so you can make more ammo on the go. Again, the game will teach you about that stuff. You'll figure out what you use most and what's most handy to have with you on your hunts as you go, and you'll personalize your layout. And that's where we get to the first tip. It's kind of a little bit buried, and the game never tells you about this, but you can manage loadouts. So instead of, at the start of every hunt, having to come across here and pressing Y for restock to top everything up again, if you happen to have an empty slot, it won't restock the empty slot. So if, for example, I used up all of my little latchberries there, if I just press restock, it doesn't bring those back, even though I want those in my loadout. So you'll see right there, manage loadouts, yellow text, easy to miss, surprisingly easy to miss. I mean, it's there, it's highlighted text, but it took me a while to notice, and I've watched other people miss it as well, as I've explained this to them and go, oh my god, that makes things so much easier. So you can actually have preset loadouts. I've only got the one on this particular character at the moment, because he's an early game character we're dealing with here. But that's my standard loadout. So at the start of every hunt, I come in here, I go manage loadouts, and then I hit manage loadout, and then I hit A, use this loadout. And it says use radial menu loadout as well. Now, we'll get to the radial loadouts, the radial menus in just a second, but you can save those specific to loadouts. So this loadout here is for when I'm playing as a gunner with my light bow gun. And you do probably want a different radial menu when using ranged weapons than you do with other weapons, because you might want to have quick ammo crafting on your radial menu to make that really, really quick to do in the field. You can craft more ammo on the go with the flick of a couple of buttons. So pay attention to whether or not you are saving your radial menu, and it'll give you the option to load that radial menu every time you load the loadout as well. So in this case, yes, and away we go. So it just restocked all my things, and as you can see, you've got lots and lots and lots of possible loadouts, yeah, more than you could ever possibly reasonably use, really. You can have a custom loadout for any build you're making in the game. You'll usually only need like maybe 2, maybe 3, depending on what you're doing, but start off with 1. And always before every hunt, make sure you top up there. It makes it so much easier than having to restock everything manually. Now, when it comes to equipment, we can do the same kind of thing. Again, you can come up to your loadout. So I've got a loadout there for my gunner. Let's load that up. So, I wish I had long pants on this particular loadout. It looks a bit silly, but later in the game, you get the ability to play the fashion game. Early in the game, you just have to wear it how it looks. So don't worry about that for now. How about my hunting horde loadout, which I've been playing around with? There we go. Ooh, look at that. I'm wearing the forbidden armor! That's because I'm replaying, like I explained to you. Anyway, let's go for this right now. But yeah, you can save equipment loadouts as you go. So if you want to try something new, you can save what you're currently wearing, try out your new thing. If you don't like it, you can go back easy peasy with one step. Now then, as for that radial menu, if you press your start, well, what would have been the start button in the old days, us old timers still call it the start button, the hamburger button, if you're using Xbox controller. Customize radial menu, right here. Now, this is Quest and HQ. HQ is when you're at the base. You might want to customize that for some emotes and whatnot if you play multiplayer a lot. Otherwise, you don't really need to fuss with it. Quest settings is what we're interested in. So, as you can see here, you've got 4 different radial menus you can use, which you select with the D-pad right down there at the bottom. 1, 2, 3, 4. You can rename those. So, and you can switch to these very, very quickly in the middle of action as well. That's what they're for. So, I'm on the top shortcut there. I've got whipstone for sharpening my weapon. Not very useful for a gun, but it's there as standard. I've got a little thumbs up, so at the end of every hunt I can just pull up the quick menu by holding down the shoulder button and sort of flicking my right stick and instantly do a little thumbs up to the rest of the team if I'm in multiplayer. It's just a nice thing to do. And the rest is items I want quick access to. So that for curing, status things, my flash pods, you'll learn why you want those. That for curing poison, and quick access to the potions over here. For my ammo coatings, when I'm running with my gunner, I can quickly and rapidly craft more ammo by just, again, holding down the button and flicking the quick menu. Ordinarily, if you wanted to craft ammo in the field, you would have to go into your menu here. You go into your crafting list, and then you would find the ammo that you want to craft, and then you would craft more. No, you don't want to be doing that in the field. You want it set up on your little quick menu here like this. Well, this isn't the one because I'm at HQ right now, so this is my HQ menus, but same idea deal. Little shoulder button, give those a bit of flick. So I want to craft more ammo, like that. Super duper useful. So you definitely and absolutely want to customize your radio menu in whatever way it makes sense to you. One of the other things I like to do, aside from my standard one and my ammo one, is I set up a communication one. So I can just, again, quickly switch to this wheel and also do my little end of hunt prance move, or no and yes, thumbs up, crying, or signal where you are. Whatever handy dandy communication things you want. Don't sleep on it, because it's one of the most valuable UI things in the game, and the game never actually tells you about it. I don't think anywhere in the tutorials or anything, at any point, does the game mention that's a thing you can do. But yeah, as soon as you discover it, you go, oh my god, I wish the game told me about that. Another thing you want to know about is, aside from climbing the stairs, the tutorial at the beginning of the game will teach you how to, show you how to use stairs. What I mean by that is, it leads you up the stairs to show you the stuff up the stairs that you need to be able to have access to. But these right here, these are an elevator. These are a much quicker way to go directly to the canteen, directly to the workshop, or wherever you need to be. So we'll go up to the canteen. Again, the game really doesn't hammer this home, but absolutely come to the canteen before every hunt and eat a meal. Because the meals will give you, for example, this case in the unpredictable platter here, plus 30 health, plus 12 to the palico, which is my little cat friend, plus 50 stamina, attack up, and elemental resistance up on that one too. And there's a bunch of different meals you can get for different effects. Food skills are not crazy important for most people unless you're sort of absolutely min-maxing the hell out of everything, but absolutely, at the very minimum, eat before a hunt just to get that health and stamina boost. Because it makes a significant difference. I mean, try it for yourself. Try a hunt without eating and try a hunt with eating, and look at the size of your health bars. You tell me how important it is after that. One last thing that frustrated me as a new player, and that's how the weapon crafting and upgrading system works. Now, this was fixed in Rise. In Monster Hunter Rise, the game that came out after this one, started off as a Switch exclusive. They fixed this system. But if you're playing World, getting ready for Wilds, it will probably be fixed in Wilds as well. But as you're playing through this, you're going to need to know. So, you have Forge equipment up the top there, and upgrade equipment. And you have to do one. If you're making a brand new thing, you have to go to Forge. So if I want a new greatsword, you have to go to Forge. Up the top there, you can tab across to Tree, which is the most easy to read interface, because you can scroll across and look at the things you're doing. But once you craft the base level of one of these weapons trees, and I'm assuming you know how to read a tree at this point in your life. So if we built the base bone one, you have to then back out of the menu, back out of the menu, back out of the menu, then go to upgrade, then select that weapon you just crafted, which will be at the end of the list. So you have to tab across there. So I'm currently upgrading the Telstra here. Then you find it again in the tree, and then you can upgrade. That's a really bad UI system that frustrated me for quite some time. But here's another tip. When you are upgrading your weapons and you're looking for the parts, so for this one here, my next upgrade on this particular hunting horn I've been working on, I need one more Telstra gem. You can actually hit a button, which is Y in this case with the Xbox controller, down the bottom of the screen there. You can, I've currently got it on my wish list, so we'll delete it for now. That's what that little pin was about. So if you press Y, you can hit it in a wish list. So that will put a little pin in the icon, but it will also add it to your wish list menu, which is just over here. And this will help you keep track of what parts you have, how many more you need, where to get them, and when you come back from a hunt, there will even be a little pop-up on the right-hand side of the screen saying, hey, you got this item, and now your thing is ready to craft. So it's a really handy thing to know about the wish list. This works for weapons and armor. So definitely use the wish list as well as you're progressing through, as you're selecting, well, I want to make this armor, but I don't have the stuff yet. Wish list it, you can keep track really, really easily without having to come back to the smithy, going through the thing, you go, oh, okay, got to do this. Click through the dialogue, got to go this, then we go here, and then we have to scroll all the way down here to where it is, and then we look, oh, Telstra, I still need Telstra. No, use your wish list. It's just so much faster. So much faster. Right, aside from that, the game is going to lead you through most of the other stuff, or you'll find what you need through sort of experimenting and learning by doing. But yeah, those few things there, the game does not do a very good job of explaining to you, if it even tries at all. And they are very frustrating to not know about and do things the awkward, slow way, or not know they exist at all. So yeah, that's my advice for you new players. Learn those systems, and you'll have a much happier hunting life. So, hopefully this has been useful to you. Thanks for watching. I am Bloody. I'll catch you next time. And so let's get a communication here. And oh, I don't have a wave set up on this one at my HQ. Damn it. All right, we'll just nod. Oh, there we go. The nod comes with a wave. Whatever. Thanks, patrons. Thank you, everyone else. I'm Bloody. Catch you next time.